Oh, guys, good, you're here. I am so excited. Guess what?
I hope this isn't about your podcast again.
Why, did you finally listen to it?
I came in like a wrecking ball.
The GROOMER NEXT DOOR is recorded in front of a live studio audience. Welcome to the GROOMER NEXT DOOR. You're listening to my mommy and daddy.
And now our feature presentation.
And here's your host, my mommy and daddy, Chris and Stella Green.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 79 of the GROOMER NEXT DOOR. This time we are swapping places. I'm Sarah, and sitting next to me is the very sick and poor baby Chris.
Hello.
Feel so bad for this guy. Not feeling good, can't breathe right, but still pulling through in order to do a good podcast. So that is why I'm doing the introduction right now. Well, we have had a busy week and a whole bunch of stuff to listen to that Chris so effortlessly hunted down. It's so much easier for him. If I had to do it, it would have taken me hours to find one clip.
Well, we have a lot to go over this week. We have our weekly roundup, as always. We have GND news. And we have a really remarkable story that came to us this week. And we call it Dash's story. So, let's dive into the weekly roundup.
The Weekly Roundup, yeah.
Well, so this week, if you haven't been paying attention to our Facebook wall or haven't been around, you haven't noticed, we have been, what would you call it, publicly introduced a great deal this week.
Yeah, we have been definitely busy beavers around the shop. Some things happened that was extremely unexpected, and we just went with the flow. And other stuff that we're still trying to plan out and work very hard to accomplish. Last week, we got to give the dryer that we worked so hard to raise funds to purchase for the Raleigh Canine Department, and we were able to give it to Officer Gray. Just awesome. It was great seeing him. I'm not sure about the police officers in your area, but I know the police officers in ours are really good people. I only had one bad encounter.
That wasn't even one of our local. That was state.
Was that? No.
That was a trooper.
No. When we were at the Walmart parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
I was outside with Claire in the car, and a cop pulls me out of the car, and I'm just sitting there twiddling on my phone. Asked me to step out of the vehicle. Asked me if my husband's name is Chris. And I was like, yeah, what happened? What's wrong? And he's like, I need to talk to him. Okay.
This is a couple of years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. And I called Chris to come out, and he's already walking out, freaking out, right? And before he...
Oh, like, what? There are cops over by our car.
But right before he walks out, this young pup of a cop that was younger than I was, grab it onto his belt buckle, struts his stuff all the way straight up to me, chest barreled, and asked me, where's my PS3? Or PS4?
PS3.
It was PS3? I'm like, at home? Are you sure? And he's like looking in my car. I'm like, look, you can take a look at my car, but say hello to my daughter first so you don't scare her. Because we don't want our daughter to have a negative reaction to police officers, same thing with firemen, or anything else. They're here to help. But that was the only time, come to find out, it was a different Chris that was tall and slender. It was not him, obviously, but they got the suspicion because we were driving the same vehicle.
It was a weird situation. The
white
suspect
Taurus.
was driving a white Taurus. The person's name was Chris.
That was tall and thin.
Yeah. it was kind of funny because they said, well, do you mind? You know, the one officer, he had been on the force for quite a while, you could tell. The young one, he was a rookie, I would imagine.
I was going to say, son, you better back out.
Right. And it was quite comical because he said, and again, this is 2 years ago. This isn't something that just happened, but he said, well, can we at least, the older officer, he says, could we see your trunk? I'm like, yeah, sure. I opened up the trunk, and, you know, there's no PS3 in there. And he's like, well, thank you for your time. I'm like, hey, no problem, you know, no big deal. And this is way before we actually ever started doing
anything for the community. So, you know.
And at the time, I have high-level security, so it's like, yeah, you know, I don't think I had my cat card at the time.
No, but you were going to go
right
down
there.
soon.
Yeah, it was just a matter of time.
But that was the only bad, you know, experience I had. You didn't have it. I did. I had that.
You did. He was really nice to me.
Pup of an officer come straight up to me, and he was shorter than I am. I'm sorry, but when you're barreling your chest out at me, and I have done 0 things wrong, that I'm just kind of laid back on my car, like, really, I just want to go home. But everything else has been so positive here with our police officers, and we just want to help and give back. So that was awesome last week.
Right, and if you tuned in last week, the full story is on last episode, on episode 78. This week, though, we actually had, well, we were on the Raleigh Police Department's Facebook wall. They had posted it, which was really awesome. Thank you. We were in our local paper, which that's another story.
Yeah, that one's gonna get a rewrite.
Yeah, there's a rewrite, so we'll be back in the paper, but
yeah, this one they got the name of the place where we worked wrong. They said nothing about what we did, and I have my reservations about them, but we'll leave it at that. There's just going to be a rewrite.
Yeah, I mean, if there wasn't a rewrite, I would definitely publicly make my opinion.
Yeah.
But there's a rewrite, so it's like, okay, you know, it's
we got some good friends that are, well, I mean, we don't go hang out, but we have people that we admire who work at the paper, so, you know, they'll do what they can.
We have a positive reputation, and, you know, we don't do any of this stuff for praise. The praise seems to come with it. People actually offer up all of it. You know, some people would love to go and say, well, the only reason why we do good things is to get recognition, which isn't true. If that was the case, then every day we would have something being posted somewhere. We're not doing that. You know, we do things with organizations all over the United States. We do things with all kinds of people. Our YouTube channel has a positive effect on a lot of people. We have a great deal of connection. So the things that we do actually have posted in a newspaper or on Facebook walls, they're very small compared to the impact that we try to make. And the podcast is a vessel for all of you to actually listen to different inspiring stories, keep up on pet news that you may not have heard about. This is just a side endeavor that we actually go with. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a couple people out there that are sick and tired of hearing about our stuff, but, you know, that's what happens when you're actually out there doing the opposite of what the Kardashians are doing. You know, we're actually trying to make a difference for our daughter to see that. You know, if anything, if we're trying to put any kind of positive out there, it's to teach our daughter the positives of going out and doing something for others and not asking for something in return.
Yeah, so we had something fall completely in our lap that we weren't expecting. We get a Facebook message from John over at the Raleigh Animal Shelter asking if we had any possible time to groom up this Pekingese. And he's older.
Yeah, he's an elderly dog.
And when I mean old, I mean he's at least 9 or 10.
I think he was 10. I think that's what he said.
And hardly any teeth, hasn't been groomed ever before. Which, yes, a Pekingese can go without ever being groomed because there's some Pekingeses out there that their hair just doesn't grow. And there's some like prints that we just did the other day that just will grow and grow and grow and won't stop. But
I guess it's a good time to talk about Dash's story.
well, this is part of our weekly roundup stuff.
So it's a good time to actually bring that story in.
Sorry, I didn't know if you had another.
No.
plans.
I think that it's a good idea.
Okay.
I'm following your lead on that.
All right, so Chris actually let me know that I had a message. He was on the iPad, and my messages don't come through my phone; they come through my iPad, whatever. And I'm looking at my books, and I'm just like, oh.
Now the message came in on Thursday.
Yeah. And I'm just looking at our books. We don't have another appointment for even just a small dog. About 4 weeks out for a small dog.
Yeah.
So I was like,
and this was a lot of work. This was not just a small dog. There was a lot of work that was going to have to go.
At first, we thought, oh, it's just a small dog. It's just Pekingese.
Right.
We got this. It's all right. It's just Pekingese.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll take maybe 30 minutes out of my time. 30 minutes out of your time, 30 minutes out of mine. Dog will be done. Easy peasy. He came in. I had him come in on the Friday, the next day. I said, just bring him on in. I might have to have him for a few hours, but we'll get him done no matter what. John was afraid since he was so stinky and had some crazy nails and all this stuff going on that nobody's going to see past that.
Which was very intelligent by John. He saw the big picture, which this is where animal control, especially somebody like John, when they can see, hey, this guy's been in a shelter for 3 to 4 weeks, and people look at him, but they're not wanting to interact with him as much as that he should be. So that's where this came in.
Right, and he saw last time when we groomed another dog for the shelter. Rhoda brought over the dog, and we got him groomed, and a matter of days later, the dog got adopted.
Right.
So we're hoping that this will be the same for Dash.
Right.
Dash is his name, by the way. I forgot to mention that part.
And you'll see him on the album art. And this week, we are actually releasing another YouTube video, finally. I know you guys actually have been asking for one. We have some, but they've been hard to put them together. Dash will have a YouTube video this week. Mm-hmm. We filmed it, and there's some really good parts of that video that I want you guys to enjoy, but to also see the life of what a groomer actually has. There are some things about that you need to actually look at that will show a little bit more in depth on the nastiness that can be part of the job.
Yeah, because even though we might make it seem easy or look easy, it's not.
No. And
some dogs are more challenging than others, depending on their severity of condition. But John brought him on in, and he smelt. His nails were about 3.5 inches long, and I'm not exaggerating. The nails have curled up.
Yep. And
have spiraled up. And I looked, I'm like, is that his nails? And sure enough, those are his nails.
I was surprised.
3.5 inches long.
I was surprised that they didn't get stuck in the grate.
They're all turned up. There's no point.
I mean, I still could have done it. I mean, anything's always possible.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize his nails are so long.
Yeah, he didn't have that problem. We'll talk about that part of the video podcast. But we'll go on his story.
Well, so we made it work. I know we had a huge Great Pyrenees that we had to shave down. That his name's Pretty Boy. I've been grooming him since I believe the same year I got here, maybe the year after. So about 4 or 5 years, I've been grooming him, and he comes in once a year for a shave.
He's a lot of work.
Well, his hips have been getting progressively worse, and we had to get a towel under his belly to hold him up so we can get the rest of his groom completed.
That's where a 2-groomer system works, when you have somebody to help. Obviously, I'm not the groomer, but holding them up helps.
When doing such high volume dogs each day and the size of them, you always have to have someone there. If you got a day where all a bunch of itty bitties that are all good, then you don't need someone else there. But it's always important to have another person in the salon with you, whether they're groomers or not. They can hold a dog up they can pet the dog's head. They can calm him down while you do something the dog doesn't like. But it's always important to have somebody there. I'm glad you were there.
But back on the Dash.
But Dash, well, I was explaining
Okay.
something here.
Well, I just didn't want to get too far off the Dash.
So on top of doing the Great Pyrenees, that was he was 11 years old for a Great Pyre. That is very old. We had a Schnauzer, a Yorkie. One was 11, one was 12. We had a Poodle that was about 9.
That was an elderly dog day.
Yeah, the whole day. And then we had Henry,
Yes.
the Smooth Collie. He's up there in age. So it was just nothing but special needs elderly pups. And I was like, you know what? Let's just get Dash done. And we...
Yeah. And the hard part is with the Great Pyrenees and with Henry, both are identical with their special needs. You can't have them jump into the tub. You can't have them walk out of the tub. You have to lift these dogs in and out, which you're talking about a lot of weight. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of extra work that you have to do. That's why it's very important if you're a groomer in training. And I say that because we're getting a lot of people who are watching our YouTube videos who are in grooming academy, and they're making a lot of their,
or they're getting there,
or
they
they're
get there, yeah,
and they're using our stuff as their special kind of almost an educational tool now. If you are actually in this and you're studying to be a groomer, be prepared that heavy lifting is definitely a big prereq for this type of work. So you have to be able to lift these big dogs in and out of the tub, and you can't say, well, I'm sorry, I don't do big dogs. Especially if you're just coming out of the academy and you're starting to learn, or even if you're, being taught by another groomer. You got to understand that all these big dogs, you're gonna have to do it.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. It is a problem in Rolla that all these places don't want to do big dogs. There's some places out there that can. They're physically able to.
Yeah.
They have the setup for it. But they just do not want to put in the hard work of grooming a large dog.
Well, you got it. Look back on our videos. You look at a Great Pyre, you look at a German Shepherd, you look at the Akita, you look at a big dog that actually has double coated. You should actually spend an hour minimum with just the bath. So you're looking at a 2.5 hour job minimum.
Yeah.
Just to do a groom on that dog. A lot of people don't want to spend that kind of time. They'd rather bust 2 Chihuahuas out. Well, two Chihuahuas and a Pekingese in the time you could do 1 big dog.
Yeah, see, with the Pyre, he took an hour and 15 minutes for prep shaving. Yep. Took you how long to wash and dry?
I would say just under an hour.
Okay.
And it was not much under an hour.
Another hour and a half to finish.
Yep. And he did not like his head. He will not let you do his head.
See,
He'll bite for his head.
Another place out in St. Roberts did him before I moved here, and they charged $150 for that. I'm like,
nice.
What? That is crazy.
I mean, I can honestly see where he's a special need, and I can see where they would price high, but that's too high.
His hips weren't bad back then. Yeah, I was able, with help with the owner, to get him in the tub, because the place I did work at, it was a bathtub raised up and secured to a wall, and a really nifty grate that her husband made. It was all scientific, but it was pretty awesome. But it was just a tub that was raised up because the original owner had no desire to do anything bigger than their Shih Tzu.
Right. And I mean, I understand her,
It was hard getting him in the tub back then, and especially he did not want to move.
Well, you helped on bringing him in the tub. I didn't want to call you to take him out. I just figured, oh, I'm just going to wrap him, pick him up, and put him down.
Yeah. Going down's easier than going up.
I don't know. It was still working sick all week. I had very little energy so lifting him and then having to do Henry right after. I was like, well, here's a workout.
Yes.
So back to Dash.
Well, that was pretty much all of our actual week, but other than just Dash himself.
Yeah. Well, I was going to go into the Dash story really quick.
Okay.
Dash, his previous owner, had passed away. So...
Yeah, it wasn't like a situation of somebody wanting to get rid of their old dog to get a pretty puppy. No, the owner actually passed.
Yeah, the owner passed away, and Dash was very attached to the owner. So, obviously it's a very hard situation, and this is where, hopefully, by listening to this, you'll kind of take this into consideration if you're even looking at the idea of adopting a new pet. Sometimes adopting, and we've said this on numerous different podcasts, but sometimes adopting an older pet actually has greater advantages than you would actually imagine. A lot of people think that there's a lot of disadvantages because, well, I only have a couple years opposed to if I adopt a puppy, I got who knows. Well, let's be realistic. Life is so unpredictable. You can get a puppy today and it could have some kind of ringworm virus that kills it, or have a recall of food. We've done recalls in the past, and unfortunately those recalls had killed dogs. Anything can happen. Some weird pathogen virus could take your dog's life, whether it's a puppy or an elderly a dog. So with Dash, he's such a loving dog. I mean, it's kind of, in a sense, you made this reference. He looks at John as his owner.
Yeah.
Because the two of them have connected. Now, I know John, he's got dogs of his own, and he can't take that dog.
Yeah, and people can't take every dog out there. There's
Well,
just no way.
How many times have we been in that situation? One too many? Yeah. Every time we foster.
Just stopped at the Akita. No Chihuahua.
I love my Chihuahua.
Just like I love Rambo.
Yeah, I love Rambo. Rambo's cute. But see, you got to know when to draw the line, and he knows, okay, I got
two. I'm good to go.
Now, if you are in the Rolla area, definitely take a look on Rolla Animal Shelter's page. You'll see pictures of Dash. We really can't stress to you enough. Now, I don't think he was adopted yesterday.
No,
I know.
Sad.
I know that. Well, I didn't check yesterday.
No,
I didn't check yesterday, but I
Yeah.
did check Friday. There was a potential that I don't know why it fell through, but it did fall through. Now that doesn't mean that they may not come back to yesterday or Monday, but definitely if you are in the area, give a look at this dog. I guarantee 5 minutes with him, and you're gonna be like, I have to adopt him.
He's so sweet, and he's got so much life left to live in him, and he just wants somewhere soft to lay down, somewhere to cuddle up, somewhere to have just a place to call his own.
Yeah.
Dash has another free groom coming to him. Now, if somebody adopts him, he'll have a free groom whenever he needs it. If the Rolla Animal Shelter still has him in 6 months...
6 weeks.
Or 6 weeks. Excuse me. Still has him in 6 weeks. I'll groom him again. No charge to the shelter again. And keep him groomed until they can figure out where he should go for his forever home.
He won't be there past this week.
I hope.
I guarantee he will not make it past this week at the shelter. Somebody will adopt him. But another part of this is we don't do this. Again, I say this. We don't do this because we're going to make money off of it. Every time we do it, we always tell the shelter, no, we will not take any kind of payment for it.
I know Rhoda, she wanted me to charge for the other dog that they brought in, the Bashan Poodle mix. And, no.
No, yeah.
When you start taking money from a charity, that's called blood money.
Yeah, the organization or a shelter, yeah, it has such a negative reaction. And it's like, how do you actually teach your child about that? It's like,
or if you fundraise just for that money to go into your pocket to pay for a groom, so you still get paid, but yet you're fundraising for this dog, that's wrong too.
Yeah.
I mean, holding up a jar saying, please donate, means, can you please put the money in my pocket so I don't have to go without charging?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. This way they still get a free groom and I get paid.
Yeah, that's
ridiculous.
not a free. That's not technically a free groom. That's
not charity.
Yeah, no.
That's getting people to pay for you.
Yeah.
But no, I mean that's bad juju.
All right.
Charging, but the last dog that Rhoda brought in, and this guy, I couldn't help but buy him new collars.
Yeah, you always buy them new collars, so when they leave us, they always have a brand new collar.
Keith was like, "Where's all my collars going?"
The shelter.
The
or
shelter.
Pikal. Yeah.
Or my foster dogs, or...
Yeah, we have bought, I think, 5, I want to say 5 this year, 5 collars for 5 different dogs.
Yeah.
It's worth it, though. You know, if that's all that you do.
Well, yeah, because people don't want to pick up a dog to meet and greet it if it's freshly clean. It's got a nasty collar on it.
Nope.
So he's got a pretty blue and polka dot, one of my favorites, on him right now. And like I said, I really hope he gets adopted. And to whomever adopts him, they have a free groom coming to him, whatever groom they really want. He had skin problems that they got fixed.
Yeah.
So his hair is growing back in certain spots along the back. And I believe John took him to the vet to have that puncture wound underneath his eye taken care of.
Yeah.
That's pretty common. I've seen it in many different dogs. It just needs to dry up. Rhett, our Cavalier, had one on his base of his tail. And a little witch hazel, and it dried up with some antibiotics. So, no biggie.
I know a vet was notified the moment I called John. I told John about it. He goes, "Well, I'm calling the vet and headed over to you," and he did. So, yeah, that's the weekly roundup. We did another Saturday. This will definitely be my last Saturday. Definitely my last Saturday. It's just too much.
Because my next Saturday to groom is in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Nope. Hopefully.
So hopefully you're gone. Why won't you leave?
Right. That's another story. Thank you, licensing departments in Missouri. I won't even go into the... No, I am going to go into the gripe. I can gripe all I want.
What section does that belong in, though? Or weekly roundup?
No. Yeah, no, it's going... Okay. No. Ain't nobody got time for that moment.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right, so here's the reason why I am still not in school. So, as some of you have heard, we actually have a loan that's pending because obviously this stuff is not going to be cheap. So, have a school loan, have to, put our car up as collateral. Okay, that's fine. No big deal. So, the state of Missouri has it in their nice, unidentified office somewhere in Jefferson City. And we do all the proper things. We go down 3 weeks ago, this past Thursday. This week, now this comes out on Monday. This would be 4 weeks. They say it'll take 7 to 10 days for us to give you a copy, a certified copy of your own title of your own vehicle that you own. That you own. Not that we own. That as the state, we are taking money to register your vehicle. We're taking money from you. We're doing nothing for you.
They take personal property tax.
Yeah, oh yeah.
For the vehicle. And then you take your registration for the vehicle. And all this stuff just adds up.
And they're telling us...
For them to print us out a duplicate copy of our title to our car.
Right.
Is taking them almost a month.
Right. And it's 7 to 10 days. 7 to 10 business days. Okay, when those 7 to 10 days concluded, that was a couple weeks ago. So this past Tuesday, Sarah calls up, and they said, "Oh, well, we're going to have to call Jeff City. Let us call you back." Well, that's always an indication to me. Oh, we must have blanked up. So, anyways, they call Sarah back, and they say, "Oh, well..." And this is where I say, you're full of it. They said, "Well, an abundance of requests came in this month, and it's going to take another week." I'm sorry, you can't drive to Jefferson City to actually pick up your title because nobody's allowed in there.
Okay,
we can't rush this because you don't mean anything. I am seconds away from getting a lawyer and suing the state for holding onto a title that I own.
So, the hard part to this is like you're telling me there is one printer.
A laser printer that prints in seconds.
One printer with a special paper that has the embroidery or embossed seal of Missouri or whatnot, and the special ink that they use.
It should be at
they're
anywhere.
using one printer for the entire state.
gosh, it drives me nuts.
One printer,
Yeah.
one person, one computer to print up a license or a title for all of Missouri. I'm sorry, when it only takes a couple seconds to print a piece of
It's
paper.
a laser printer. You know it's
Did
seconds.
every single person in the state of Missouri need a duplicate title of their for their vehicle?
No, they're lying. What it is, and I'm calling them out on this one. They didn't process it correctly. So now they're saying it's another week, which pretty much tells you, oh, we're going to need another 7 to 10 days because guess what? Whoever was working in his office didn't process it right. We can't tell you this because then we're going to look incompetent and we want to steal your money every year for your title, for your registration. Yeah, great. So, hey, I'm sorry, productive citizen that wants to actually better themselves. I'm sorry that we're going to hold you back because our government workers that sit in an office chair collecting a great paycheck, doing nothing.
In an AC room.
Doing nothing.
With
will
those
have
little
no
gel pads on their hands so they don't get
They have
carpal
no
tunnel.
standards that they have to live by. They have...
So, if that didn't make it perfectly clear, since we are waiting for our title,
I'm still here.
Everything has been, skid to a halt. Luckily, the people who we're buying our Ford Escape from is willing to hold on to it. And then
the school has been great about this.
Yeah, the school's like, hey, you know what?
Tell us whatever. We
Just
understand.
When you get here, you get here. We'll work on it then.
The bank has been cool with it. They're like, well, we gotta wait. It's like, but they're breaking the law that they write. The law that they write, they break.
I just don't understand. Personal property tax. You pay tax on your vehicle every year. Not only do you pay...
We pay the same as
when
what you pay in California. I kid you not.
When you buy your vehicle, you pay taxes on it. Like our Escape, we're going to have to pay taxes on it when we buy it. And then every year we pay taxes on it. A personal property tax. And that's not including the registration for the car, so we can use it on the road and cause wear and tear on the roadways.
Right. And I understand paying your share. I get it because you're using the road, so you're paying the registration to keep the roads nice. Even though the roads are hardly ever kept nice. It's mostly money to go to the wrong people who don't want to do anything with their life.
Oh, yeah.
But, we have no say on where our tax dollars go. I know everybody who actually pays taxes have the same gripe. I don't want to give it to people who don't deserve it.
Are we a grooming show or are we a
This is me being mad because you know what? I should be gone. I should be recording podcasts from a grooming school.
See, what sucks the most about not getting the title is that I'm not going to go and spend over $1,000 on equipment for you.
That's just one of the
If something
costs.
happens to the title.
And it's the same thing with finding a place to live. We can't give you a date when I'm moving because we don't know.
Yeah, we can't secure a living quarters for you. And
it's a lot. So thank you, licensing department. You have made our life hell.
It made it very difficult. But then again, God has his time. There's a reason for it.
Today is that time.
So he might be waiting for you to feel better.
That's possible. All right, let's go on to the news. All right, joining me in the GND newsroom is, of course, Sarah.
Hello.
Again. All right, so we have pretty much a bumper crop, I like that, of different stories that actually I wanted to go over because they were so good. So good! But
they're so bad.
So good, they're so bad. There's a couple good. There's at least one good that I can think of at the top of my head. There's too good, too bad. Let's go with that. So I'm going to lead off with a story that came out of Los Angeles, California. It was a fireman that actually attacked a woman for feeding stray cats. Now that actually hits, kind of home to us. We work, of course, as we always say, with P-Call. There are some great individuals that actually do trap, neuter, and release. And they also feed the cats. They take care of these cats. So what this woman was...
They spend their own money.
Yeah.
Not taxpayers' dollars.
Right.
But their own money.
Here we go with taxpayers again.
Not money that they've stolen from neighbors.
Right. And they actually do good. they drive their own vehicles. They pay their own gas, the wear and tear on their vehicles to actually take these cats to vets to have them spayed or neutered. So this woman, and I saw the video. I'm gonna play the clip for you, and then we'll discuss it. So sit back.
With 2 trials, but jurors came to a verdict in the trial of a Los Angeles firefighter charged with attacking a woman who fed stray cats in their neighborhood. Ian Yulian just learned the decision about an hour ago. Eyewitness News reporter Leo Stallworth is live in downtown LA with more on this breaking news. Leo.
Well, my friend, it was a deadlock jury in the first trial, not the case the second go-round. Guilty. That's the verdict today against Ian Yulian, a Los Angeles Fire Department engineer. The jury took about an hour and a half to reach that verdict today. The jury found Yulian guilty of attacking Rebecca Stafford for feeding stray cats in his neighborhood in 2013. The attack was caught on video and was used as part of the DA's case against Yulian. Yulian, who had claimed during the confrontation he punched Stafford only once in self-defense and to protect his mother, who faced a charge of accessory after the facts in the first trial, but those charges were dropped against her in the retrial. Again, LA City firefighter Ian Yulian found guilty by a jury. Upon sentencing, he could face up to 7 years in prison. Live in downtown LA, Leo Stallworth, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Back to you.
Alright, so that was the story on the fireman. Upon looking at the video, the woman had been in the vehicle the whole time. So where the fireman had said that the woman that was actually feeding the cats...
Can we stop there for a second? Can we not call him a fireman?
Yeah, right?
That's his job. That's not who he is outside. The man, the aggro man. I don't care what you call him. Him being a firefighter has nothing to do with this story.
True.
And it drives me bonkers because people love to paint our city workers in such a foul-looking painting that, well, if police are getting a bad image, why shouldn't the firefighters? No. Yes, his trait is a firefighter, but he is
acting as himself, not as a fireman.
Yeah, he's a civilian at this point.
Well,
he's not in his gear.
No.
He's not on the clock.
No.
He's on his break, on his time off.
Well, upon video, his mom went up to the Jeep where this woman was and was in her face. Now, I never did see the victim, but I did see the mother in, with the car door open. She was in, pressing up against that lady kind of. And then he kind of pulls his mother off, and then you see the suspect actually hitting this woman. Absolutely BS. I hope you get 10 years and not 7. You're a jerk. See, and thank you for misrepresenting firemen all over the place.
Well, yeah, see, and that's the problem where he'll pull his fireman status in there and say, well, I save lives every day. Why do I have to go and spend time in jail for this?
Right.
If someone was in the car and you punched the person in the vehicle.
Yeah. Well, what a guy. You're punching a woman. You're a great guy.
Well, I have a different outlook on that part, but a person that's in the car.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you're male or female.
If a female comes at you and starts beating the crap out of you,
you gotta defend yourself.
You defend yourself or you knock her ass down. Yeah. Excuse my language. That happened to my dad once. Some woman just sitting there.
I remember that story.
With heels or something like that, beating him. And he couldn't do anything. He was right in front of the camera, just letting him beat on him because he knew if he hit her,
I picked on him for that for years. I always said, you got your butt beat by a girl.
So here this guy is, he thinks that he's big and bad. I'm going to show off to my mom. And honestly, yes, sometimes it does become annoying to have stray cats all in your yard, especially if they're feeding them somewhere where it's close to where you live, okay? I don't want cats out in my yard if I let my dogs go to the bathroom. I don't want them bringing in fleas in a yard that I treated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want that. But yet, again, bunnies get in your yard.
True.
They have fleas and ticks. Deer come out. They have fleas and ticks. So, honest to goodness, does it really matter?
No.
It's a cat.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next story.
Sure.
The next story comes out of New Jersey, and it's a story about this guy who his dog was ill and was not going to make it for that much longer. I don't know if the dog has passed away yet. I hope not. But he decided that he was going to have a bucket list for his dog. So sit back and catch this story.
If you thought bucket lists were reserved for only humans, you clearly never met the dog named Poe.
Here, come on, buddy.
The 15-year-old pup recently hit the road with his owner, Thomas Neil Rodriguez, on a cross-country adventure after getting the unfortunate news that the end was near.
We found out that he had multiple tumors, inoperable, and that, he had limited time to live.
Instead of counting down the days, Rodriguez, who makes a living as a DJ, left his pad in Jersey City, opting to explore the country with his buddy.
I decided it would be better for us to enjoy it and have literally a bucket list adventure for him to get to swim, get to see something new instead of kind of just being in this environment.
All the time of my life.
You could see his energy was way up when he got to dip his feet in the ocean, when he got to swim in Austin.
From Austin to Santa Monica, Poe's adventure was all documented on Instagram, where the pup's followers have even surpassed those of Rodriguez's, and even mine. But with moments like this, are you surprised?
One of the messages that always comes up is that, people wish that they had been able to do something like this with their pet before they had passed. And I'm in a fortunate situation where my lifestyle, my career allows me that freedom to just get up and go.
What struck me specifically was the idea of you forget how hard it is to have a dog or to be a dog owner, because they're only here for a certain amount of years, and then you have to, at a certain point, either say goodbye or just move on, and it's heartbreaking.
Basically, there's no way you can really prepare for it. Right now, I'm just trying to enjoy my life with him as much as I can.
With 35 cities, 12,000 miles in the can, there is one more thing to add to that bucket list. And now what's so great, he's on Pix 11. Exactly. So that you can update the Instagram with that one.
I will, for sure.
In Jersey City, I'm Andrew Ramos, Pix 11 News.
I just thought that was a sweet little story. I had to put a little sweet after a terrible individual. And, I just thought it was kind of cute. This guy loves his dog so much that he's just like, you know what? We're going to go on a road trip together. I'm going to document it. I will have these pictures and these memories forever. The dog's obviously enjoying itself. So, hey, it's a great feel-good story. Yep. You got choked up over it.
Everybody, if they're able to do that for anyone, if for their pet or whatnot, that would be pretty cool. Being able to afford such things and have the time to do it, that's pretty cool.
If I could, I would.
If you're just able just to give your pup a comfortable life until the time, well, then that's pretty darn good too.
Agreed. All right. Now, from one feel-good story to another, I actually wanted to topic on this story because obviously what we had just done last week with the Raleigh Canine Unit, I heard about this story where a policeman was attacked, was going to be dragged into the woods, and was going to be obviously killed. And what happens was remarkable. So I wanted to actually put this in this week's news.
Really are man's best friend. A Mississippi officer is saved by his faithful canine unit. Hancock County Deputy Todd Frazier was attacked by 3 men during a traffic stop. They tried to drag him into the woods to kill him. He hit a remote control to open the door to his squad car, and that is when Lucas, this dog, sprang out, biting 2 of those thugs as they wrestled for Frazier's gun. The suspects then eventually fled, and they are still on the loose this morning. Frazier was treated for knife wounds at a nearby hospital.
Of course, coming from 2 individuals here who work closely with a canine unit and are very strong supporters of police department, this was kind of a cool thing. Your reaction was, I want a button to actually open up my door too.
Well, it's just ingenious to have when you have a canine unit. You can just pop the door open and it comes straight out. That is intelligent.
I gotta ask Officer Gray if he has one.
Yeah, or if Officer Campbell has one.
Yeah,
too.
I gotta ask them. That is definitely a question. Do you have one? I gotta know this. You guys, obviously, they'll know I'm gonna ask them that question. All right, so one last story before we actually close out the news this week. This one, I actually heard about it, I read about it, and then I watched it on YouTube. I'm going to play you the audio. Obviously, you have to see it. The audio itself is pretty much self-explanatory. But if you want to actually watch the video, it was entertaining. It comes from Britain's Got Talent, and with Simon Cowell. I was entertained just because of the dog itself. Now you laughed. You watched the video last night as well. You found it to be very comical, right?
It was hilarious how he did it, and they didn't quite understand how. It's like, it's just simple dog training with certain, specific words.
I thought it was cute. I mean, it is an adorable story. You very rarely ever see Simon Cowell happy.
The dog was so poorly groomed.
And that's what to take out of this, everybody. The dog was poorly groomed.
It looked like Swiss cheese. It had holes everywhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, the dog would look better if you just shaved it. I think it's a Coton. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Can't remember.
I think it was a German Shepherd. I love that. He does say that in the video. So it's kind of funny.
I believe it's a Coton. But either way.
It's a funny, cute story. And, with all the stories out there that you got a lot of negative stories, why don't I always feel a little bit of humor with it? And, it's always funny to see Simon Cowell actually like something. It's very rare. Mm-hmm. So sit back and enjoy this.
What is he going to do?
Hello.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good, good. Right, tell us a bit about yourself.
My name is Marc Métral. I come from Paris.
Bonjour. So what are you going to do for us today?
I have a special guest for you.
Okay.
Can I invite?
Sure.
Yeah. Just for you, Miss Wendy. Come on. Down there. Sit down. Okay, you can't fall down. Don't worry.
That dog was cute.
Isn't she lovely? Hello, I am Marc Métral. I am 61 and I come from Paris.
How are you feeling about today?
Well, when you work with a live dog, it's always...
Anything can happen?
Yeah, fragile. I grew up in a little village in France and my parents was peach farmers. It was a hard life. If you like peach, I can bring you a good one.
So what kind of dog is Wendy?
It's a Rottweiler. I have this dog since she has 2 months. Without her, I will be nothing. You think about your audition? Everything gonna be all right, no? Viviane, my wife, she told me you are crazy to make a Britain Got Talent. But to play in front of royal family, for me, it's like a dream. I'm always dreaming, even at my age.
Whenever you're ready.
Hey, you can say good evening. You speak English? It's my night. Come on, hey, say something.
No.
But why not? It's fantastic, come on. Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Yes. Oh my God.
No, listen. English?
Si.
Spanish?
Oui.
Français?
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Wendy, listen to me. You think I am stupid?
Yes.
This is brilliant! I want one!
So, well, you don't want to speak anymore?
No.
Okay. And now?
Oh, yes, I want.
You know how to sing?
No.
What?
Yes.
Good. Well, we'll listen to you.
Meow.
It's bow wow, eh? You understand?
Meow.
Music, please. We're gonna sing something for you, all right? Okay. Don't look at me. Don't look at the audience like that. Feelings. Come on.
Feelings.
Nothing more.
Nothing
More.
more.
Trying to forget all together, okay?
No.
Please, come on. It's pretty good talent, okay? All together. Feelings.
Ay, ay.
Feelings.
Oh my God.
Some people live a lifetime for a moment.
Amazing. What's her name?
Wendy.
Wendy.
Try and listen when they're doing the act.
Well, I'm emotional.
He's waited a long time for this moment. For 9 years, Simon has said he wanted a dog that could meow or sing, and your dog did both those things. I mean, you're making television history here with this.
Wow. I don't know how she does that, how you taught her to do it, but it was incredible.
Oh, thank you so much.
How does she know the words?
She's very clever.
It's an incredible act and one we're never going to forget, Mark. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic act, Mark. Really something special. Right, David.
Well, this is a very easy yes.
It's a yes from me. It's a yes from me.
You've got 4 big fat yeses.
That was fantastic.
That was brilliant. Well done.
Unbelievable. How do you get a dog to do that?
Brilliant, Mark.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We found a dog who sang and talked.
Well,
We found a dog that can sing.
no, we haven't.
I love that Simon's telling everyone.
Lauren, are you sitting down?
Yeah.
A dog came in and sang.
Well, it didn't.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I swear, and meowed.
But you was fantastic.
He is amazing.
The dog can't actually meow.
It sang.
So just hit the button below if you want to see loads more Britain's Got Talent clips.
Go on. You know you want to.
All right, well, that was our GND news. That was our weekly roundup. That was everything for the week, I guess you could say, all rolled into one.
Mhm.
Is there anything you want to add to the conclusion?
No, there isn't.
Well, actually, I think there is, and I'll take lead on it. We did hear some terrible news this week. One of our owners passed away.
Yeah, she was an owner once again. I've been grooming her dog since we got here, and real sweet lady. Just always nothing but fun when she came in. Just
She
drop
was
her
hilarious.
dog off, and we would get talking, and then we're getting talking, and we talk, and her husband's like, "Let's go, come on, let's go." Come on, you're taking her time up. Let's go. And I'm just sitting there chatting with her, and Chris is like, "Come on, you gotta go work. Come on."
Well,
It's like,
it's a
"Shh."
big dog, so it's a lot of work. But I'll be honest. When I found out that she passed away the other day, not an older woman either, middle age. She was a lot of fun to talk to. Definitely somebody that I am going to miss seeing her come in. I love her
Definitely.
dog. Her husband's a lot of fun. I just, she had that character about her that you really don't find in a lot of people. And I do have to say, you will be missed. So, do you want to say her name?
Her name is Jan, and
Okay.
if anybody out there wouldn't mind saying a prayer for her family, especially her husband, he has a house to take care of now, a farm to take care of now, all on his shoulders.
Yeah.
So if you can,
Not to leave it on a low note. I just you gotta pay respect to those that really
Yeah.
really come around. You know, we hear a lot of dogs that pass that we love and we will miss. In my time being in here, I have not actually heard of somebody that we knew of an owner.
This is the only second owner that I've lost.
Oh,
I've lost many dogs throughout the years from old age and freak accidents and such when they weren't in my possession. But this is only a second owner that I've had to go through.
It's hard when you hear of a dog getting hit by a car, obviously, especially when they're really young. It's another thing when you hear of an owner that goes when they're really young. So, Jan, you will be missed.
Very much.
Well, this was episode 79, everybody. Have a pet-tastic week.
And make sure and realize...
I'm Chris Green. Have a pet-tastic week. Does that help you?
You throw everything off so much. You're like, oh, I can just say what I want because I'm leading the show.
I almost got to do it on purpose just to see if you actually catch up.
I'm Sarah Green. Life is short. Play with your pet.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay, gotta go. It's my bedtime.
Was without doubt worst episode ever. Rest assured that I was on the internet within minutes, registering my disgust throughout the world.